I asked Conrad, ask the person that walked out on the field when that happened. Why do you think it's not been remembered or noted?
Becky Tassone, vice president of the Flight 629 Memorial Committee, is talking about Conrad Hopp.
It was right here. It started, there was stuff right in this field right here.
Who with his wife, Martha, just teens back then, heard the DC-6 explode, jumped up from the supper table, and out into the Weld County beet fields.
The ball of fire was coming through the sky and the motors were wild, revved up.
We drove the truck around each body so that it could be found easily.
So people are surprised by it. They're surprised there's no memorial.
Mike Hess, president of the Denver Police Museum, along with Tassone, and each in their own way, are working to bring more awareness to the Flight 629 story.
I've always been interested in Colorado history, but it really didn't ring home to me until I saw the parts of the plane.
The force of the explosion, I think, really comes through when you look at this.
A critical piece of FBI evidence, a dark moment in our state's history, preserved behind this glass at History, Colorado.
The first case of sabotage against a commercial airliner in the United States.
A crumpled part of the DC-6's cargo hold, part of the trial against John Gilbert Graham.
Planted a time bomb in the suitcase carried by his mother on a United airliner.
And just a few minutes after the DC-6 climbed out of Denver.
Between Firestone and Longmont, it exploded. Debris rained down across the farm fields that were there. All 44 passengers and crew on board were killed. And it was a tragedy that people had not been prepared to deal with. The scope was something that they hadn't seen before.
In spite of the fact that the plane exploded in midair, most of the luggage was still pretty well intact, except for one bag. Just the solid police work that went into that one bag obviously led them down a path, ultimately allowed them to solve this.
Friday, it'll be 69 years since, and there's a ceremony at sunset in Firestone to mark the moment, as momentum builds to next November, and a milestone, 70 years, with several efforts underway to build lasting tributes.
So this is the last remaining portion of the Denver Stapleton Airport, the tower here. Obviously, this is where the plane took off en route to Portland on November 1st, 1955.
Patrons at Flyco Tower will have a chance to learn about a major piece of aviation history.
So we've talked about potentially here or here as the location, and the memorial will be in the shape of an airplane fuselage, and it will be pointed northwest, which is the direction that the plane took off from the airport.
The Denver Police Museum is creating challenge coins to fundraise for the permanent 629 memorial at Flyco. History Colorado is planning a special exhibit next November so Coloradans can reflect and learn. As Tassone and the Flight 629 Memorial Committee are hard at work for this year and next.
They have never had a monument, and they have never had their names read or candles lit for them. And so we want to do that to break open what's going to happen a year from November 1st, which is the 70th anniversary.
A vision for a permanent memorial in Weld County to finally honor the sacrifices. The details are coming together, as is the site of the future memorial. They just hope as the community marks 69 years this November, someone out there will be moved to open their heart just in time so that next November, when families of the victims, many who have never been to Colorado, will be welcomed to a forever place to connect to their loved ones.
I know there's people out there that can write a check for the whole thing. I know there's people out there that can give us $5, $10, and all of it matters. All of it matters. Because what they put their money into is what they are a part of in their heart. And this is something that the heart needs healing in for these people.
And you're invited to tomorrow's ceremony to pay tribute to the victims, families, and first responders, all connected to this tragedy. I have the information in this story at denver7.com/flight629. You can also learn more about how to support the future memorials that are planned, including a link to a GoFundMe to donate. Reporting in Denver, Jeff Anastasio, Denver 7.